In this video we'll be looking at lazy loading websites and heat maps. Let's get into it. Okay, so this user asks, I have a website that uses lazy loading. When using the heat map feature, only part of the page is captured. How can I use lazy loading with heat maps? If you didn't know already, Matomo has a heat map feature where it can take a snapshot of your web page and then have all the clicks appear on the screen so you can see where the hotspots are and perhaps where you're having problems with people navigating around your website. Along with this, it's got a session recording feature where it'll play back session recordings of activity of users on your site so you can have a look at those and review them later. So this is all on a demo site, so you can go and have a look at their demo site to see it all in action. But this user's question is a bit double-barreled. We've got two things we need to cover here: creating a heat map and being able to capture the full screen. Now they mentioned lazy loading, and what does that mean? That means that the web page, when it loads, only loads the view you can see at the moment, so the rest of it, the page isn't loaded to save on time and resources perhaps. So I've got an example here. Let's have a look. So this is a lazy loading gallery which I've just put together, and when we look at it we can just see the one image. As I scroll down, the rest of the images will load just to save on bandwidth I guess, or just to speed up the way the page loads. The problem that is, when this page loads and stops loading, Matomo thinks, okay, the page is there, I can catch my snapshot, which isn't entirely correct, as we know, because we scroll down more of the page appears. But let's just demonstrate what this will look like. So we've got our Matomo here, we've got a lazy website just for this demonstration, and down on the left hand side you have the feature available. It's just under heat maps, and we'll create a new heat map and we'll call it lazy test, I guess. You can name it anything you want. And then under the target page, so Matomo wants to know what page you want it to track. I know the domain name or the URL has lazy in it, so I just want simply, if any page has lazy in the URL, I want it to take a snapshot of that and use it for our test. Down the bottom we've got a sample rate. We want to set this to 100%. Otherwise we go to visit the page 10 times to get a snapshot, and once that's done we just create new heat map. So all I need to do now to capture the screenshot is to visit the page. It doesn't necessarily need to be me to visit the page. Anybody who hits that page next after I configured it will kick in that screen capture. So to capture this page now, I'll just go to reload it. So the page is reloaded now. If I go back into my Matomo, we should see this particular image. And sure enough, there it is. It's just our picture. It's being captured, but there's no other images. And we know if we navigate to the other website, all these other images will appear, but they won't appear in here because the snapshot's been taken. But there's a pretty easy way to fix this problem. We've just got to activate a feature within the heat map configuration and then paste a little bit of script into our console. So let's go through that now. So we just go back to manage our heat maps. We've got the little pencil and paper here to edit our configuration. We scroll down the bottom. So we've got this feature here called capture heat map snapshot manually. And we're just going to copy this bit of code as well because we need that later on. And we've also got to delete the current screenshot so we know that this tells Matomo to capture the next screenshot when requested to. So it's gone. We go back to our web page. We scroll down to make sure that all the media that will be loaded in the page has loaded. It looks like it's done. So once it's done, we want to paste that little bit of code that we copied in a configuration into the console, and to do that it's usually F12. And on the console here, it might be on a different tab on your particular browser, but we can click through all these tabs, but we want the one that says console, and we just paste that bit of code in and hit enter. And it's just told Matomo to capture the screen now as it is, rather than capturing it when it thinks it's ready. So we'll pop back into Matomo and we should see that the full screenshot has been captured. So here we are here, we'll just click on this test again. And we can see the entire page has been captured as we'd hoped. If you want to capture that again, you just scroll down to the bottom, click on delete screenshot, and just go through the same process again. It'll only delete the screenshot, it won't delete any samples. So if you've already got samples there, they'll stay where they are, but the screenshot will be replaced. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you've got any questions yourself about Matomo that you want answered, by all means add them in the comments. I'll see what I can do. Otherwise, thanks for watching.